can't keep doing the same thing over and over and expect a different result. That's called insanity. Change ain't coming. Tell the people change is here. We taking what is ours. We ain't never scared. We gonna fight for our rights. Ain't no backing out. The Bahamas loving how we got this real blackout. Taking our country back, not living so hopeless. Vote for Lincoln Bain, our Bohemian Moses. A real leader coming with the vision and the plans. Just take a stand, every Bohemian woman, child, and man. The people can't be crying and hurting and jobless. Don't be fooled, y'all know the parties that cause this. Vote for COI for changing the office. We fighting for our rights and our natural resources. The people can't be crying and hurting and jobless. Don't be fooled, y'all know the parties that cause this. Vote for COI for the change in the office. We fighting for our rights for our natural resources. Yeah. Stand up and make a change. Yeah. For Bohemians everywhere. We gonna make a change. Change is here. We gotta quit with tradition and let's go forward with a mission to build a better Bahamas for all the children that live in. They sell our country and land and give it to all the foreigners. Keep Bohemians suppressed because they think we're not good enough. But we're making a stand, throw up a fist with a hand. Stand united as one nation under the sun. We the people fighting for the new Bahamas. We bring the facts, but they wanna bring the drama. They can go and put a sign on every corner, but the cry of the people will be louder. Stand up and make a change. For Bohemians everywhere. We gonna make a change. Change is here. Stand up and make a change. For Bohemians everywhere. We gonna make a change. Change is here.
Good afternoon, Bahamas, and welcome once again. Welcome. Of course, you know what to do when we get in here, and that is share. You know what we need to do. Please share this live broadcast. You understand that we are in the middle of a war to save our country, and you know that the media has decided that they don't want to cover certain things that will affect certain groups of people in this country. And we have to make the decision and an effort to try to bring the change that we need to see. I want to thank all of you for tuning in. Let's take a minute out to share this broadcast, let people know we're here. We're sorry for our being a few minutes late, but you know how it goes. So please take a minute and share this. We have a serious conversation today. We got to touch on a couple of things. We got to touch on a young lady that lost her life. We have to touch on what I saw a police officer do this week during another incident of road rage, where cars were smashed and destroyed. One had to be carried away by a wrecker truck by the police. We're going to talk about that for a minute. And we have to talk about what's really going on in this country. Just briefly on crime, briefly on the MOU that has been signed. Please share. We gotta get the word out. All right. So we're gonna give you a few minutes to share this while we get this out. The purpose of this that we'll be doing every week is to bring you up to date on what's really going on, to hear another perspective. We won't get the plays in the media. We won't get the plays in the newspaper. In fact, you know, we could be there at an event, the newspaper's going to pretend that we're not there. So we have to find a way to get the real message out for the true Bahamians, for the real Bahamians who need to get their message out. And so that is why we're going to be doing this every single week without fail. But of course, we're going to have to change the days that this is available. We're going to change the date from Sunday. I will tell you that it's been over a year now, well over a year, that we've been going every day. After the election, we said we would take a break for about 2 weeks. Let me tell you something, that did not happen. Our phones continuously ring. You can't imagine the kind of work that myself, Maria Daxon, Charlotte Cara, etc., that we put in on a daily basis, committed to this cause. And so we got to find a way to So take a break. So we're moving everything to during the week, so that we can give Sunday back to the Lord, um, and use Saturday, for other things. But we go every single day. We get thousands and thousands of calls during the week that we have to manage. Some people get offended that they can't reach us. They don't know the kind of workload that we have. I want to thank Maria and Charlotte and Tara and everyone else. You are for the work that you've been putting in for the Bahamian people. We've been resolving issues and fighting people. Most of those issues don't make it to the news. They don't make it to the media. They don't make it to social media. Despite what many people think, we do not broadcast every single thing that we do. We don't. There's times that we do, but in the majority of instances, we do not broadcast everything that we do. So I know you've taken the time to share this. Please, if I see 100 people on here, I need to see 100 shares. I need to see share over your name. Come on, let's do this. We have a country to save, and you're going to understand how important this is as we go through this. I'm going to show you some things today. As always, it's going to blow your mind. What did we really sign? What really happened in Dubai? What's really going on? What's the real perspective that we should have? But I'm going to get to that in a minute. First, I want to start this out by wishing the sincerest of condolences to the family of those young men that we lost in Long Island this week. It was a tragic accident, and some families lost their loved ones. We want to wish them our deepest sympathy and condolences. There seems to be a lot more death in the air today for some reason, and nothing can prepare you for it until you experience it yourself. But just know that the Lord is with you no matter what you're going through, and you're going to make it through. I also want to give my deepest sympathies to the family of a young lady who also lost her life. It was 2 days ago now. Another tragic incident. There seems to be so much life loss, but this one was particularly peculiar because it was her life taken by someone who claimed to have loved her at some point. Her life was taken by someone that she shared life experiences with, including having a child. I just want to say to all of you as you continue to share this, because I gotta show you what really happened in the Bible. We'll get to that in a minute. Please make sure that your family and friends get this. There's something, that seems to be going around. It's from the old days, and it looks like it's starting to come back. And that's something they call women ownership. That's something I call women ownership, where men seem to have this view that they own women. They seem to have that view that they own women, and that if the woman leaves them, then they should kill that woman. And we can't have that in the New Bahamas. We can't have men or women being killed, but we can't have women being taken advantage of, women being abused in the way that we're seeing in this nation. We need some intervention. We need some intervention desperately. I saw a good post by the Deputy Prime Minister where he said basically the same things. We have to put some things in place. If they looked at our plans and what we had planned to bring forward, a strong part of it, if you would remember, for those of you who support us, you would remember that a strong part of our plans was to put stuff in place for single mothers and distressed women so that we can make sure that we have a refuge for them, that they have the same way you give people welfare when they're in need, no, that we have a kind of structure where we could aid women who are in those kinds of situations so that they don't have to put up with abuse, so that a young girl who's being abused in that house doesn't have to continue to go through it because the mother is putting them in a situation that they should not be in because she feels there's nowhere to go and nothing to do and we have no choice. We need change in this country, and we need change right away. And so we're going to have that change. And so I commend our Deputy Prime Minister. I want to say this. This is not the first time that your government has been in administration and they've done nothing before. Will it be more talk again? Every time a woman dies, there was a tragic death of Nellie Brown, and we heard all the things that were said when that happened. It was something similar. And that was a young lady that was chopped up, by someone again who she was in a relationship with before. And it was tragic, and we all had all this outcry, and then we went back to our daily lives. Lenny Brown is the family of one of our Pinewood residents, a beautiful family that lives right across from our headquarters, actually. And again, there's too much of this going on. There's too much of this going on. And so something has to be done. We saw a message from the Office of the Spouse by the wife of the Prime Minister, Ms. Anne-Marie Davis, and from the Office of the Spouse. And, she again said what is going on, but again, there's no solutions that come forward. And we're going to put forward these solutions again, or you can refer to our plan. There's some things that has to happen, including stricter laws, including putting things in place to make sure that they have security when they go into these situations, including mental checks and making sure that we deal with mental health seriously. We must deal with mental health seriously, Bahamas. Let's stop treating it like it's something taboo. It's a health issue. It's a health issue that can be treated. And so we have to take that seriously. I personally believe that anyone who would attempt to kill themselves or kill themselves is suffering from mental issue. That is my personal belief based on my studies. That if you attempt to kill yourself, it's because you're going through, that's a mental sickness that you're going through that will cause you to get to the point where you want to kill yourself. Not every murderer has mental issues, but if you're going to go to the point to kill yourself, you have mental issues. And so I'm hearing that this is not the first time that the young man had some violent situations. I don't want to talk about the case, but I just want to say this. A child has to grow up without parents. And we always forget about what's left behind. These are sensationalized stories that we talk about for a minute and then it's gone. And then there's some children that grew up without a parent, without a father, without a mother, and we see the ramifications of it. We need change. We need real solutions, not political talk. They've been talking for how long now? Almost 50 years of independence. And they've been talking, and nothing. We need real change in this country. There's so much hurt and mental anguish going on because people are suffering and hurting. I don't know if you all have paid attention and noticed how angry people are. The road rage is a symptom of what's really happening in society. People are suffering and hurting and stressed out because of what's happening. The price of everything is rising. You can't keep up. The bill collectors are beating down on you. Their dads have children and they're stressed, so they can't provide for their children. Mothers can't provide for their children. People can't pay their school fees. People are hurting in this country, and so people are stressed out. And this must be addressed on a serious level in this country. Have you ever noticed that you would be on the stoplight, on the traffic light, and the second that light changes, people start blowing you frantically, bam, bam, to get off the light. The light just changed. You didn't even have time to lift your foot off the brakes and put it on the gas, and they are blowing you. People are angry and hurt. Road rage is happening. And so I just want to talk about road rage for a minute. We saw what happened to the lady last week. It seemed to be some drunkenness involved with that. But I witnessed, right outside our headquarters, I witnessed some road rage recently. In fact, yesterday, a young man was driving and he almost came out of the corner. Sometimes you come to the corner and these corners don't have stoplights. I want to say to the Member of Parliament for Pinewood Gardens at the junction of Pinewood Drive and Tashbam Avenue, there's no stop sign. There's no stop sign. And it's hard to tell when you reach the main road in some instances on these corners. Okay? Especially if you're coming from north heading south. But there's no stop sign. Please, we need that fixed immediately. We need real action. And so he was coming out of the corner, and he just came out a little bit more, but he didn't really come out. So the other person kind of swerved to get around him. There was two gentlemen in the car. I shouldn't call them gentlemen, but two young men in the car, and they swerved around him. He didn't hit them. There wasn't actually a collision. They didn't touch, but they swerved to go around him. And then they stopped their car in the middle of the road. He came out of the corner and stopped behind them. They came out of their cars and they grabbed rocks in their hands and they started smashing him. They started hitting him with the rocks. One of them had a knife. You know, they pulled him out of the car and they started trying to stab him. And they started hitting him. They was hitting him all over his head with a rock. He had bumps all over his head when the ambulance got there. You know, he was bleeding profusely. They were beating him. And somehow this guy, out of that shock, caught himself. He's a guy that lives in Pinewood. He caught himself and he started fighting back. And he started beating these guys. And he defended himself. It looked like a martial arts movie. And he started beating these guys. And he got them under submission. And in no time, they were running from him. And he had rocks in his hand. And he was chasing them and trying to defend himself. None of the knife didn't penetrate him, not once. But the rocks initially did burst his head open. But he fought them off. And when I came to the scene, you know, I saw him fighting them off. And I saw what was going on. I didn't see the initial part of it. And you know, eventually they ran. They made it seem like they was going to go, well, I came there and I started to de-escalate the situation. I started to talk to all of the men involved and tell them, listen, no, this isn't worth it. I think I might have saved a life last night. I could have very well done so because they were extremely angry. The guy was so angry, he was smashing cars and they were, you know, it was a serious brawl. And when it came, it started to calm down the situation, which I thank God for. And eventually the other two guys left their vehicle, got in someone else's vehicle and left him there. And the police pulled up shortly after. This is the quickest I've ever seen a police response. The police pulled up shortly after. And they came there. Hilda Gator was one of the police officers. She's a legendary policewoman in control room, legendary police. And there were two other male officers. One of the male officers immediately came there and he found out what was going on. The fella had a shirt that was off. And the police officer took that fella's shirt. The fella was bleeding, profusely. He told him to calm down because it's going to cause his blood to rush more because the fella was being active. And he took that shirt and he started to wipe off the blood and he started to take whatever he could and he started to address his bleeding. And he started to nurse him. The police officer, not only did they call the ambulance, but the police officer started to help him. The police officer then shouted to the corner store and said, "Y'all have any water? Someone bring a bottle of water." And he gave him that water. And the police officer had the thing to his head and he started wiping the blood from all over him. He was bareback and the police officer started cleaning him up and trying to stop the bleeding. I watched a police officer do that. If we're going to criticize police officers that do wrong, I want us to understand that there are some police officers who do right. I witnessed that. I witnessed that the vast majority of police officers are good officers. And I know we get angry when we see officers doing wrong, but we also must praise the officers that we see doing right. And what I saw that officer do instinctively, where most people would have said, "I don't even want this person's blood on me. I'm not getting near them." That officer came in there and he started to help that stranger by not just waiting on an ambulance. I also saw the ambulance reach within minutes. I don't know, they must have been right around the corner, but that ambulance reached in minutes. And so I want to thank the ambulance who actually did that. So with all this violence going on, with all the road rage going on, I just want to say that officer didn't come there and escalate the situation because he didn't even know what was going on. He should have come there and just grabbed this fella and arrested him and locked him up. That's what many would have done. He heard what was going on and he quickly took action and started to treat that fella's wounds. And so I just want to thank, I don't know the name of that officer, and it was such a fast-moving situation, I didn't get his number, but he was working with Hilda Gator yesterday. And that officer, you might be watching this, good job, well done. We need more officers like this, and we would have a much better country. All right? I just wanted to add that in there, you know? And I just wanted to add that with the violence that is going on in this nation, with the domestic violence that we're seeing, You know, I heard a comment by the Minister of National Security, Wayne Monroe, who seems to be having issues himself. Because every time he speaks, there seems to be something that doesn't benefit the Bahamian people. He seems to be a little odd. He said that he doesn't think that non-lethal weapons are going to work. Well, let me tell you something, Mr. Minister of National Security. I'm going to speak to you as a former police officer. I will tell you that non-lethal weapons do work, and police have them. Every police officer is issued with an archaic non-lethal weapon, and it's they call it a billy or a nightstick. We're issued with them. That's non-lethal. And I can tell you that I've been in hundreds of fights as a police officer, hundreds. On Bay Street in the old days when the Frederick Street bus terminal was there, we had fights on a daily basis. My first year and a half, I had a fight almost every year in the police force. I had a gun on my waist. But I did not see the need to take out that gun in every instance. The non-lethal weapons can work. And it's not a choice of whether you come out of the car with either or, like the minister was saying. You have both. If you look at the US police officers, they have a belt. And that belt would have a gun on it. It would have a taser. There's two types of guns. There's a taser gun that will shoot a projectile that will hit the person and shock them and not kill them. The difference between that and a gun that you shoot with bullets is that it kills them, but you're shooting them. And so how can you tell me that it would work to shoot someone to kill them, but not a taser that shoots sticks in them and shocks them to get them under control? How can the Minister of National Security say that? Again, I think that man needs to resign forthwith. He's a friend of mine. But we have a country to save. And we have people who are dying because of bad policies and bad decisions by policymakers. For him to say that these non-lethal weapons are not going to work, he needs to resign. It shows that he has no idea what is going on. It is ridiculous. The Bahamas is always so slow to catch on. There was a time when they didn't want police officers to have guns because they wanted to portray us as a tourist-friendly place with no crime. And so police had a serious disadvantage. We had to work on Bay Street with slippery shoes and these tunics, stiff tunics that you could hardly move in. We're always backwards in our thinking. There's a taser gun that can shoot, and then there's a taser gun that you use like a stick and you stab the person with to get them under control. These are non-lethal weapons. What happens when you go on a scene where someone is going through mental issues, someone is drunk, etc.? Are you going to shoot them every time? I have been in countless fights like this. Yes, I'm a martial artist. Yes, on a black belt level. But many other police officers go through this. And it's always a risk when a gun is on your waist. But somehow you have to mitigate the situation. And so we need lawmakers who have sense, man. When you're smart in a court situation, but when it comes to policing, that's not your forte. We need non-lethal weapons, especially in domestic situations. And how many situations when you come, the husband and wife are having an argument, and you have to diffuse it. I've had many of those. You have to hold someone down. You don't have the excuse every time of saying the person went for your gun. We need to give the police the tools that they need. The tools that they need. Okay, so I just wanted to touch on that quickly before we move on. I'm trying to rush through this so we're not extremely long today. But of course, we got to get to that MOU and what happened with that. Okay, I had some crime statistics I was going to show you all, but I'm going to skip to that too another time. But I want to skip to this MOU. Ladies and gentlemen, while our people are dying, while crime is out of control, and remember I told you all that after election, crime was going to go out of control. And I told you why. Go back to those videos and watch it and you will understand why. Crime is going out of control right now. There's gang wars going on. There's retaliation going on right now. There's fights for power struggles going on right now. And there's some fellas who think they're untouchable because of who they're connected to. It's a reality that's happening right now. It's happening. And it's not being taken seriously. There's murders happening, fellas are getting shootings are happening, and the government is just coming out and talking about, like Wayne Monroe, oh, we got to start with parenting. That's the same thing the Office of the Spouse said, Ms. Anne Marie Davis. She said, you know, while talking about the young lady who was killed, she started talking about parenting. That's a solution. Parenting. Like, we're going to throw this as the government, we have a responsibility, but we're going to throw this on the parents. And yes, parents have some responsibility, but we're talking about adults who committed crime, not children who committed crime. You have responsibility until they get a certain age. And yes, you should raise your children right. But come on, man. When the parents fail, the government has to step in. So we need real solutions. All right? All right? Sorry, I just happened to look down and someone say he's better than Marvin Dames. That Wayne Monroe is better than Marvin Dames. I don't see them one as better than the next one. I see both of them are failing and failing miserably. The murder rate now is higher than it was under Marvin Dames. It was under 100 in the 90s in 2017. Sorry, 2018 and 2019. You can't count 2020 because the whole country was locked down. And now for 2021, it is over 100 murders. Robberies are on the rise. Rapes are happening, even on the streets. Crime is going out of control. And so if crime goes down, you're going to give him credit. So if crime goes up, you have to give him the chastising. He is not doing a good job. Neither did Marvin Dames, but he also is not. It's like they don't have any solutions, all right? And so someone says that Wayne Monroe would make a good attorney general. I agree to a certain extent, but there would be too much conflicts of interest because he spent most of his career fighting against the police, fighting against the government. So it's kind of a conflict to make him attorney general, and that's why the PLP government had to go to someone with no court experience, Ryan Pinder. Good man, all right? So I'm not chastising him in that way, but he has no court experience to be attorney general. And so I don't ever know him to have even gone in the courts. And so that doesn't mean he didn't, but he's not known for that. And so we're stuck with an attorney general that has, little experience. And in fact, he did his practicing in the United States. He only came to the Bahamas when he decided to run in Elizabeth. And that's when he came to the Bahamas. Before that, he was in the States and was a lawyer in the States. All right. And so that's who we have our attorney general. We need real solutions and substance in this country. All right. So let's continue. I want to get to what did we sign. You can look at the pictures, and they can put the pictures up for you of them in Dubai. There's quite a bit of pictures with them in Dubai, and they were signing memorandums of understanding. And there in that picture, you see Mr. Fred Mitchell, and you see Brave Davis in the middle, and you see the Minister of Foreign Affairs for Dubai, and they're signing a memorandum of understanding. There were two memorandum of understanding, as I understand, that they were signing over there. And I want us to really dissect this and look at what this is as a people, okay? I want you to understand what this is. First of all, a memorandum of understanding is very little. It's not binding. It's not an actual contractual agreement. It's not. It's an understanding that we have some common interests and we're looking to go in that direction. How many memorandums of understanding have you seen that have just, been wiped away? Remember, the Wynn was initially supposed to buy the Grand Lucaya Hotel, Al Lucaya, and they had a memorandum of understanding. And then he said, you know what, I'm not buying anymore. See ya, because it's not binding. And that's one of the problems that you have. So going over there and bragging about signing a memorandum of understanding, that's an issue. Remember, my job here today is not just to criticize the government, but they need an opposition. They need someone to look from another perspective. I think that helps in life. And so that's what we're here to do. So bragging about signing a memorandum of understanding, it means very little. The second thing I want you to understand is that those memorandum of understanding, I'll get to that in a minute, were not initiated by the Bahamas government. They were initiated by the government of Dubai. The government of Dubai is who said they want to do this memorandum of understanding for technical alliances, and they also want to do it for tourism, to promote tourism. And I'm going to show you exactly that in a minute. We're in a country where we're on life support. And you need to understand this very clearly. We're on life support. I'm going to show you something in a minute. Our country's on life support. We can hardly make it through. We have over $2 billion to find in just a few months. And there's an economist, a well-known economist, international economist, who says that we're going to be on an IMF program. We're going to be on an IMF program, or our dollar is going to be devalued in short order if we don't find some solution. She said by 2023 or 24 that we are going to be on an IMF program. And she's been saying that, and she's sticking to her guns. She's a noted Caribbean economist, Maria Ducarin. And she is letting us in the world know that the Bahamas is in trouble. And I need us to pay attention to what is going on, because we got a country to save. Now, we can ignore it and just say, hey, it's a new day, and we're riding the wave and forget everything. Just don't worry about nothing. We just a new day, forget it. But we got a country to save, and you got to know what's coming up in a minute, Bahamas. So while we're celebrating and jumping up and down, and saying, hey, just let the government do whatever they want to do, and don't question them, don't say anything, just be sheep, and don't say anything, just let it go. They're going to do whatever they can do. Based on, the past, that has not been the case. The governments have always failed us. And so we got to keep them accountable. This is a great opportunity for the Davis administration to bring that change that we always wanted to see. Just like Minnis had that opportunity, but he failed. He started out good. The first year or so, he started out doing some good things, reversing some stuff that the PLP did. He was like, oh, this one is going to be good. Give him a chance. And all of us gave him a chance. And a year passed, a year and a half passed, and he was like, you know what? You got to go. But our country is on life support. And we have to move fast. Otherwise, we're going to be in trouble. The dollar in your pocket is devaluing every day. She is talking about the devaluation of our dollar as compared to the US dollar or other dollars. But even before the devaluation, we've already been suffering from devaluation, and you've not even been noticing that, Bahamas. We're suffering from devaluation because your dollar is going far less than it used to. It can't go as far. When you see the pictures of a can of cream on the Family Island costing over $3 for a can of cream, show them, producer, a can of cream on the Family Island costing over $3. Strawberries, $15 in the food store. Mayonnaise, over $5. And they showed at one point it was selling for $7. And the man in charge, Rupert Roberts, said, listen, hurry up, come buy it now because it's going to go up to $10 in a couple of weeks. So you better come and get it now. This is a serious conversation. This isn't for everyone. Someone's going to say, oh, this is a boring conversation. I don't want to talk about this. I want to go on these other Facebook Lives and have the person curse and carry on and talk nonsense. And then your suffering continues. We have a country to save. And that is why we are here. I want you to show them this Kentucky pricing from the 70s. This is the price of Kentucky back in the day. And if you look at this pricing carefully, this is why I said this is urgent for all of you. I need you to wake up, Bahamas. I need you to wake up. The first price you see there is 85 cents, and that's for a two-piece. Show them it. 85 cents for a two-piece. Now you're spending almost $8 on a two-piece. You see how the prices just kept going up and up and up? And how much did our pay go up? That's the price. That price went up dramatically. But our pay didn't go up in relation to that. What is that? The three-piece for $1.35? The five-piece, $1.65? Are you seeing what I'm seeing? I want you to realize how we're getting left behind. The nine-piece was $2.60. And let me see what I got here. The 21-piece is $520. We don't need an MOU with Dubai. We need a time machine to go back in time and buy chicken in those days and bring it back. That's a 21 piece for $5.20, a full meal. 21 piece. Then when you look at the price of property in those days and the price of property now, we're getting left behind, Bahamas. And while we're doing this, we're celebrating jobs. We are celebrating jobs. You know, I just saw a newspaper article where a Forex company is coming here and they said they're going to provide 1,000 jobs. All right, 1,000 jobs. You don't know if those jobs are going to be for Bahamians or who they're going to be for. But I saw people celebrating that. You're celebrating jobs. As long as you're on a job, you will never catch up because the price keeps going up. And then we're at risk of our dollar devaluing. When are we going to celebrate Bahamians being able to open businesses like this? Bahamians being able to be empowered. When are we going to celebrate that? That is why we are here. We're celebrating jobs. Oh, Pharrell and some other investors is going to be doing renovations at the Atlantis and opening a new part of the hotel. When are we going to empower Bahamians? That is what our movement is about. And so we have become a beggar nation that is suffering. We are a beggar nation, and our leaders are going around the world begging. Please, sir, can I have some more? Can I have some porridge? We have become a beggar nation that are flimming and flamming with these deals to make it look like we're doing something, but we're not doing nothing. I want to show you what we really signed, if you give me a second. What did we really sign? Well, one, we signed 2 deals. We signed 2 deals, and one of those deals was pretty interesting. One of those deals was for a technical trade. You know, they said it was a technical agreement, a technical exchange. That's one of the deals that they signed, and that sounds interesting. That sounds really cute. They signed an agreement for technical, but what it really is an information exchange. It's an information exchange that would allow us to get some technical information. And that's really what that is. And so they're going to have, looks like, some courses, etc. And it looks like these, courses are going to give us information. And they said they want women to be a strong part of this. Okay? And so that's really what that is. So it's not that they're giving us anything, we're not getting much from that, but we're going to get some education that we could actually get ourselves or for someone else, but we're grateful for it. But I just wanted you to see what it actually is. It's technical information that we're going to be sharing. They want women to be a part of this. It's a little more than that, but that's one thing that we signed with them. Okay, good. But they say they went to Dubai because to the expo because this was an opportunity to do this kind of stuff. But I put it to you that you didn't have to be there in the expo. The deals like this is signed all the time. I'll show you that in a minute too. Deals like these are always signed. You didn't have to take over 100 people to an expo in order to do that, to sign a deal like this. And the buy is who was offering this. But I'll go deeper into that in a minute. And so the next deal that they signed was a memorandum of understanding that deals with tourism. Okay? But of course, our government didn't want to go into details. They wanted to make it sound like a big deal, like it was bigger than it is. But if you see what I highlighted there, and if you go on the Ministry of Foreign Affairs.gov.bs, you'll see their article on it. But notice what you will not see: the actual memorandum of understanding. Why do these things have to be secret? Why is it that you can't just say, all right, here's the website, here's the actual memorandum, read it, Bahamas, this would be signed on your behalf because you're the owners of this country? Why can't that be the case, like in other countries? The citizens of Dubai are going to see exactly what we signed. Why can't we see what our government signed? But here, I'll read this for you. Through the MOU, Emirates will develop initiatives to promote the Bahamas as a tourism destination to customers across the globe its global network. Oh, that sounds good. Including developing enhanced connectivity to Nassau Lindenfeld International Airport from American gateways through its code share and interline partners. So there's not going to be a direct flight from the Bahamas to Dubai, like some people were indicating, right? Like they were trying to make us feel. There's no direct flight coming, okay? They're going to do it through American gateways, okay? So you can, someone, you know, traveling from the Middle East or Dubai, etc., can take connecting flights to get to the Bahamas. All right, that's what's going to happen. That's what this MRI is. You see, that's what they said. And so that's what the MRI is. Sorry, MOU. And so, and they're going to do it through code share, which means the connecting flights, you know, etc. Right? And partner flights. So you might start on Emirates and end up on JetBlue to do the final leg of the flight. All right, so that's what they're talking about. It says, additionally to our tour operating arm, Emirates Holidays, the airline is also making available to customers and its travel retail partners across its markets a range of travel packages, including hotels and flights to the Bahamas. So they have a tour, they have an actual tour company, and as a part of this tour company, they actually online they sell tours and packages, etc. They're gonna offer a Bahamas package. If you want to go to Bahamas, here you can get it on our website. We don't need the Emirates to do that. We can do that ourselves. There's nothing wrong with having them or being on their website, but or being on their sales network. But that's what you're signing. We didn't have to go to the expo to do that. In fact, it's not a bad thing, but it's not the big deal that we're making it out to be. This is something we actually could have done ourselves. Something we could have done without spending the dollar. We could have gotten on the phone with them and say, hey, we want you all to offer the Bahamas packages. We'll work together. We could have done this from our website. Notice how Dubai is doing this. They're doing this. They form the country that their people benefit from. We don't benefit from nothing in our country. They formed a company, so it's the government owns the company, but it is not the government. It's operated, all right, independently. They formed a company to promote their tourism. And so that's what they're doing. Now continue. What's the rest of this? Currently, but this is where the catch it. So they offer this stuff, and then they admit it, but you already have this. Currently, Emirates customers can connect to Nassau Airport on code share flights with JetBlue. So what they're offering to do can already be done from 4 major US airports, including Boston, Newark, New York, JFK, Orlando. Customers can also opt to fly to Toronto on interline flights with Air Canada to Nassau and Georgetown. That's Exuma. Already. Emirates operates a modern fleet, etc., etc. Listen, what they just said we signed the MOU for is already happening. You don't need an MOU for that. That's more of a flim-flam to make the people feel like the government went over there and made some big deals. What we need is an airline of our own. And we can do what Dubai did. They were poorer than us at independence. They have a short time of gaining wealth by empowering their people. We should be trying to get our airlines to supply tourism to the world. What they're actually going to be doing is expanding their tourism. Now that they put you on their network and they're selling flights to the Bahamas, they're making money from our tourism because they're going to get a piece of that. And then their people are going to benefit. Do you see what they're doing? They're going to get a piece of every flight, and that's no problem. That's good. That's good networking. But I want us to see that we need to get to the point where we as a country start doing these things. We need to say, okay, let's spend the money and invest to make Bahamas Air fly to the rest of the world, connect the rest of the world. Let's benefit from Jamaica's tourism. Let's have a flight to Jamaica from Miami, from New York. one that stops in the Bahamas and then pops over to Jamaica, stops in the Bahamas, pops over to Trinidad. We could have made ourselves a hub and made it valuable. You have to have enough planes to make it worth the business. We're never profitable because we don't have enough planes. And that's one of our major problems. But they made it seem like they went over there and did something so big by signing these deals. It's front page in the papers, and none of our media really investigated to see what was really going on. So I want to take it from there and show you something else that's going to surprise you. Because while they made it seem like they did something so big and so powerful, Jamaica also signed the exact same kind of deal. Jamaica's tourism minister in talks with Emirates Airlines to introduce special flights to Jamaica, except theirs is a real flight to Jamaica. Not saying through some connecting flights we're gonna make sure they go, and that's the Jamaican Minister of Tourism who's dealing with it, meeting with them in Dubai, but they're gonna get a special flight, not connecting through code share. The airline is actually going to come to Jamaica. So while our team was there partying and having fun, which they deserve, listen, our people are awesome. I'm not gonna criticize them. Our police band was awesome. The Junkanoo crew was awesome. But while they were there having fun, Jamaica was signing real deals. Bahamas Pavilion opened late, which they didn't tell you, extremely late. I think it was months late. They opened extremely late. And when they did open, it was nothing to talk about. Jamaica had one of the top pavilions. Over all of the big companies that spent, tens of billions of dollars. Jamaica was considered one of the best. I'm tired of being last in this region. We needed a government who was going to go there and really get stuff done, man. We're tired of the flim-flam. Jamaica was doing a similar deal, except they got a real deal. Let me read the first part of this for you. I'm going to read the first part of this for you. It says, Tourism Minister, the Honorable Edmund Bartlett, has revealed that he has initiated discussions with top representatives of the Emirates Airline with the aim of introducing a unique flights between Dubai and Jamaica. Flights between Dubai and Jamaica early next year. The announcement comes as the minister concluded marketing activities in the United Arab Emirates yesterday with a crucial meeting with senior executives of Emirates Airline and their Dubai headquarters, a major element of wide-ranging discussions with the possibilities of introducing special services between Dubai and Jamaica. All right, they discussed this in their celebrations during Jamaica Day. All right, listen, we need a change in this country. Dubai is going to different countries and setting up these arrangements because they want to expand their horizon. Do you see how they are moving forward as a country? That has nothing to do with oil as a state. They're moving forward as a state. There's nothing to do with oil. Oil is 5% of their GDP. It's deals like this that they are doing progressively. Oh, Lord, they can say I was holding up the PLP sign. Listen, I've been doing this when I was young. That's not a PLP sign for me, okay? There are deals that like this that they're making that is making them wealthy, and then they're empowering their people. Their people are millionaires. You see, if you go to the next one, you will see that they also made a similar deal with Guyana. A similar deal. Look at Guyana. The same technical deal that we had. Guyana signs MOU to advance technical assistance and cooperation. The exact same deal we signed, except they got an even better situation. All right? They actually went into specifics with them. Among the areas discussed were food security, climate change, the environment, technology, and infrastructure, and revising the visa policy for both countries. All right? And they go into details of what really happened. Ours is kind of sketchy and secret. But they had real discussions and they made real deals. In fact, if you look at the next picture, CARICOM signed the same kind of deals. CARICOM and United Arab Emirates strengthens ties. So while they're trying to make it sound like, oh, it made sense for us to take 100 people over there because that's the only way you could have made a deal. If you look carefully at this picture in the front of you, you'll see right on the top, under the word CARICOM, you'll see the date. That's from February 20th, 2020. They didn't have to go to the expo to do this. And CARICOM already signed the deal for the exact same thing that we just signed this memorandum of understanding for. A statement from the regional group said CARICOM and the AU will seek, among other things, to expand trade and investment flows, promote investment and tourism, foster entrepreneurial, scientific technology, and personal exchanges, collaborate in development, cooperation, programs and projects, and foster cooperation in the field of natural disasters. We already signed for things that were included in this already. We're part of CARICOM. And so it seemed to have been a show. This is what politicians continuously do. They put on a show while the country is suffering and they pretend that they're doing something. But I love what Jamaica is doing. Jamaica is getting an actual deal where they're going to become a hub for the Caribbean. You see where they're situated in the middle there? They're now going to become a hub, what we should have been doing. They're going to become a hub. And if you go and read the rest of this on traveldailynews.com, you can go and look at it yourself. I can't read all of this for you. Not only did they make arrangements while they were there to be an air hub, but also a port hub. They met with the Dubai port company. And so they're looking to have a port, have it as a shipping hub for the whole entire region in Jamaica. We have had the opportunity to do this in Freeport for so long, but we never took advantage of it because we were just shaking pom-poms for one political party or the next while they were doing little to nothing. As Brave Davis said after coming from Dubai, it seemed like the Bahamas forward movement has been stagnant. We've been getting left behind. But they're not doing much more to move it. We need a new government with vision. And so they met with the cruise. They had cruise investment talks with DP World Jamaica. You see, the Bahamas was there, and if this is a world expo where they say all these world leaders were going to be and these big companies around the world were going to be there, why did you only sign something with the government of Dubai? Why didn't you sign others with other nations, with other companies from around the world, like Jamaica did? Why didn't you have conversations with other companies, like Jamaica did? Were you there partying on our dime? Jamaica didn't just meet with Dubai. They met with Saudi Arabia. In fact, they jumped on the plane when they left there to go to Saudi Arabia. They met with other companies so that they could form a hub. The United Arab Emirates is doing a real deal to bring the hub to Jamaica. They also are doing a cruise deal. All right? A cruise deal. And they're also doing a shipping hub arrangement. And they're also going to have their own kind of expo for the Special Economic Zones Authority. And so every country that has a special economic zone is going to come to Jamaica and talk about making Jamaica a free trade zone and having it as a hub. Freeport has been a free trade zone from before I was born. They've not even thought to make it a shipping hub that all of us can benefit from and to use it for that reason. I mean, come on. Huh? And we are shaking pom-poms and talking about who should be prime minister or not, who wears the best suits, you know, who is educated and who has this and that. But the educated people in suits have been failing us so far. They've come and seem so qualified coming in, and then you look at them, you're like, it's like something takes them over. Look at what we experienced with the F&M. Now we experience it, we're hearing Wayne Monroe talk, and we're like, is this man for real? And more as they talk, you see that something is wrong. Something isn't going right. Because they come in with no plans, no solution, and no intention to benefit the Bahamian people. Dubai spends every day and night, thinking about how they can benefit their people, not some foreign investors. I told you before the story of Atlantis when they went there versus when they came here. This is the difference. And so all these other nations went there. They had all these different meetings, and they're looking to see how they could empower their nation, not become slaves. So now we're bragging about going to Dubai and meeting with these rich people. Oh, you know how rich they are? Oh, Brave met with these rich people. And they're going to come and they're going to open up something so we could have jobs. Bahamas, is that really the country that you want? Is that really the country that we need? Isn't it time for us to do the things that they are doing? Isn't it time for us to watch them and see what they're doing and learn from them? Isn't it time, Bahamas? Isn't it time? I think it's time. I don't know about you, but I tired of, the slave mentality and, fighting to be a slave. I tired of shaking pom-poms and being slaves while these fellas farming, man, and traveling the world on our dime. And Fred Mitchell he continued exactly where he left off last time. We saw no advantage from all of the traveling Fred Mitchell was doing last time. We saw no benefits to our country from it. Our country did not improve, not one bit, from all of the traveling that Fred Mitchell was doing in the previous administration that he was in. We benefit nothing. He benefited. It's time for us to take this serious, and Philip Brave Davis, you have an opportunity to take our country to the next level. Learn from Dubai. Turn this dark cloud into a silver lining. Do what they do. Let us benefit from our natural resources. Go to Florida and wake up and shake up Vaughn Miller, who has been out of this country more than he's been here since after election, and tell him, Vaughn, we got a job to do. We need you to wake up. Time to work for that money again. Vaughn Miller is getting big money, almost 6 figures. And we can't hear from him as it relates to our natural resources. Vaughn, you got your 100,000. Where's ours? Vaughn Miller has gone absolutely AWOL. I heard someone say that Vaughn is talking about cleaning up somewhere or cleaning up another. Okay, thanks. Yeah, we need to stay clean. Listen, cleanliness is life. That's a regular part of life. We don't need you to brag for cleaning up somewhere. We need to hear what's going on with our natural resources. Philip Brave Davis, we're not going to let you forget this. And I know that the attacks are going to come because y'all really don't want to change it. I know what's going to happen. I know y'all are afraid to let us benefit like they do in Dubai. If you learn a lesson from Dubai, please learn the lesson of empowering your people individually. We have more than enough natural resources. They are building their country. They need sand. Did you make any arrangement with sand and aragonite for them? Did you have those conversations? I didn't hear anything in the news about that. I didn't hear any conversation about our natural resources and how they can benefit and we can benefit. But no, I hear about you going there and making us beggars and a beggar nation. Well, it's time for that to come to an end. It's time for a real Bahamas. It's time for the true and the new Bahamas. The flim-flamming is over. It's time for us to wake up. Dubai is now benefiting from the tourism. They're going to hit Bahamas, hit Jamaica, hit Trinidad, hit Caymans, hit everywhere they can hit to make sure they're benefiting from world tourism. They found a little bit of oil and they said, let's invest in tourism and real estate, etc. They got a big hit in 2008 with the economy. Remember that with the downturn in the economy. Remember that affected the real estate industry, with the housing bubble. And so that affected them too because that's what they had invested in. But it didn't stop them. All right, they got some bailout money from Abu Dhabi. They continued. And they did what they're supposed to do. Now we're bragging about how rich they are, when we used to be richer than them. The only problem is we have visionless leaders who can only think of how to make money for cronies, how to make money for the persons who paid for the election, and how to funnel small money in crumbs to some Bahamian people. We need a change, and we need a serious change, and we need that ASAP. Why aren't we investing in cruise ships? They bragged about, porting while the while the situation was going on with COVID. But guess what? One of those ships, one of those companies, now they're in problems. They just, a warrant of arrest was just put out for Crystal Cruise Line. Warrant of arrest for Crystal Cruise Lines. Remember, they were touring us. A warrant of arrest. That means take the ship. Not for an individual, no. Arrest the ship. Yes, they have warrant of arrest for ships. Was put out for the ship. Show them. Put it up there on the screen and show them. Actually, it's a video. I want you to watch this video, and it's the reason I want you all to watch this so you can see exactly what's going on. There's something particular I want you all to see. Hopefully, they have the video up, right? No. All right, they're going to play it for you right now. Otherwise, I'll put it
Passengers on board one cruise ship are expected to return to South Florida today after their trip was involuntarily extended.
It's because the cruise company reportedly didn't pay its fuel bills, prompting a Miami court to issue an arrest warrant. Let's get right out to local 10's Trent Kelly. He's live at Port Everglades to explain this one. Trent.
Yeah, so Andrew, all of this involves the Crystal Symphony cruise ship that is operated by Crystal Cruises, an ultra-luxury cruise line. We know that ship was supposed to return here to South Florida yesterday. Instead, though, it is now docked in the Bahamas this morning after a judge issued an arrest warrant over unpaid fuel bills which, according to court documents, total more than $4.5 million. A cruise line in chaos after unpaid fuel bills caused a Miami judge to issue an arrest warrant for the Crystal Symphony cruise ship, owned by the ultra-luxury cruise line Crystal Cruises. The warrant giving authorities the ability to seize the ship if it enters U.S. waters. As a result, the ship is currently docked in Bimini instead of returning to South Florida, with passengers telling multiple media outlets they'll now be shuttled via ferry back to Port Everglades later today. It comes just days after Crystal Cruises suspended all sailings after its parent company, Genting Hong Kong, declared bankruptcy. The one and only obtaining a copy of that fuel complaint filed by a company called Peninsula Petroleum. In it, they say Crystal and one of its sister lines, Star Cruises, owe them some $4.6 million in unpaid fuel bills dating back to last year, with a little more than $1 million coming from the Crystal Symphony alone. According to those documents, quote, Peninsula has not been paid for the maritime necessities provided to the vessel and therefore proceeds to arrest it, adding both Crystal and Star Cruises have breached their contracts. So if that ship is seized, we're told that fuel company does want it to be sold, allowing them to recoup some of their money. We did reach out to Crystal Cruises this morning for comment, but so far we have yet to hear back. Again, according to those reports, we know those passengers still on board the Crystal Symphony are set to return here via ferry sometime later this afternoon. We'll keep you posted on that and any other developments we learn about. We'll post them on my social media sites at Trent Kelly, WPLG.
So I hope you heard some good news and some good opportunity there. Remember during the lockdown, we were talking about how we would do ships and sail the Bahamas and sail Jamaica and other countries and benefit from their tourism, Real Vision. And we talked about how because of the lockdown, ships were just parked. And it was more expensive to keep them parked in the ocean anchored than, because of the price of scrap metal was so high, they made more money from scrapping the ships and selling them. And just rebuilding a new ship when the economy opened back up. And so we said that we should have bought some of these ships. They sold them, for nothing to the scrap metal companies because they just didn't want to have to maintain them. And so we could have gone in that industry. Now here's another ship that took our idea and was sailing the Bahamas, and they're in problems because for quite some time, even before that, they weren't paying their fuel bill. And they owe about 400 million or so. Sorry, 4 million, not 400 million, 4 million or so. And the company is going to take that ship and sell it at a fire sale rate because they just want their $4 million. Excuse me, their $4 million. And so this ship isn't going to sell for what it's valued. This is another opportunity to get in the shipping, in the cruise ship business and benefit from our country. But I can guarantee you, we're going to be too busy trying to get others to come to our country to benefit from us and make us slaves to see an opportunity like this. Chester Cooper, say you're a good businessman. This is an opportunity for the Bahamas to go into the tourism business. This is our chance. Dubai is in the tourism business. Tourism for them is not just promotion and getting people to come to Dubai. They are in the business of tourism. They own hotels. Now, we don't want our government running nothing because our government is not able to run stuff, but they put private entities in charge of it. And the ownership is them. Most of the hotels that you know about is not owned by the brand you see on them. They're not managed by the owners. We can own it in terms of ownership as a people and have it managed by another brand like Marriott and Hilton or one of those. Or a management company run it. We don't have to run the hotel. If I was the government that had bought Grand Lucaya, I would have already gotten a management company to come in there and run that thing with sense. Come on, Bahamas, we need real vision. This is what we need. And so this is an opportunity, but guess what? They're going to talk about all of the foreign investors that are coming here to spend their money, to make money off of what's ours. You see, when a hotel comes, for example, they don't bring money, you know. They come in and they bring boardmen. They have nothing. Sarkis Ismail had nothing. Remember, Ingram had to go to the Chinese to get money to do his dream. Now, Sarkis Ismail, I'm told, was a very good employee that treated persons well. All right? I'm not criticizing him on that level. But it's not the model we want. We want Bahamians to be able to have these opportunities. They went and found the money for this fella to build his dream. Why can't you do that for Bahamians? When are we going to wake up? Perry Christie and Hubert Ingram fought for this foreigner, but wouldn't fight for us. When are we going to wake up? There are laws in place that prevent you from freely investing outside of this country or getting capital for your business from outside of this country, while foreigners don't have those impediments. Wake up, Bahamas. Come on, man. Come on. We need a government that's going to fight for us and put us first. That's what I want Brave to learn from Dubai. That is what we want. I can assure you that with a coalition of independents, the government right now, we would have been in a position to be lending money. Every Bahamian would have been benefited, and we would not have been in that conversation of having to pay $2 billion. We would have made that already. We would have already made deals with countries like Dubai and China and Indonesia and Singapore and other countries that need sand. America, that's spending $2 billion $2 trillion on infrastructure. We'd have already made deals with them. Every Bahamian would have been living well already. We would have already signed on the carbon credits. Just 4 months later, carbon credits is a signature. Instantly, our mangroves are worth $15 billion. Our crown land with all the trees and plants on it is worth billions more. And they are talking about us begging and we don't have money, and we are having arguments about little change to travel to Dubai. Bahamas, do y'all really want change? Do y'all really want change? We got to wake up. This is not going to take us. This is going to take, when I say us, I mean persons in the COI running for office. This is going to take all of you to spread this message. We got the next 4 years to spread this message, although I don't think they're going to last 4 years because they don't have plans. And every time they do anything, you can see it. The Junkanoo was a disaster. I know the young man that did the video. They didn't release his name, but I know his name. I know his name. He actually works out of Ireland Studios. I'm not going to call his name. But you know what? You got our money. Chance. You got our money. All right? That's his name. Chance. He's a good young man. Decent young man. I'd be glad for any Bahamian like him to be able to get opportunities. But the government failed. No contract went out. No bidding went out. It was just given to someone. All right? And that person works for Sabas. His name is Chance Collymore. Okay? And like I said, good man, very professional. You've seen commercials he's done. Man, he's always on point. This one was an epic fail. Epic fail. And the government didn't release his name. I don't know why they were keeping that as such a tight secret, but they know they can't keep secrets from the COI. We are the best investigators in the history of this nation. You can't keep secrets from us. So it's better you be transparent. Oh, 4 months later, still no Freedom of Information Act. I wonder why. You want to make these deals with these foreigners you're having conversations on the phone with? I've spoken to foreigners who are bragging about the deals they are making with Chester Cooper and Brave Davis. They're bragging about it. They are going to sell this country out. There will be nothing left for us. Watch in the coming months how much deals they will talk to you about having been made and the jobs they're going to say that they're going to be created while they're going to be selling out this entire nation. Selling us out. There will be nothing left for you. To cover the billions we are due, our natural resources have to go into that. That's why they're not even talking about natural resources. Not even talking about it. All right? This is where we are. Speaking about ships and warrant of arrest for ships. It's the last topic we got for today. Did y'all notice that a shipwreck was found right before last election? Remember, once before that, I told y'all that Carl Allen had gotten this deal with the government. He wanted to take 20%, give the government 80%. He met with Minnis, met with other persons, CA and others, CA Smith and others. And by the time he finished talking to the people in our government, he took 25%. Sorry, the government took 25 and gave him 75. And of course, that's how they have it set up, you know, in the app. But who is negotiating for us in all of these deals? When Saudi Arabia doesn't, I mean, they don't dig for oil. You know, they let people come in and dig for the oil. They get 85%. The company that's digging for the oil, Shell, BP, whoever has it, they get 15% because it's their oil. You come in our country, find our sunken treasure is ours. It's ours, it belongs to us. And we get 25%, which we never collect. And did you get 75%? Come on, man. Did you notice that show them the article, remind them. $1 billion treasure exploration heating up Bahamas. Remember, this was right before last election, and they actually found these ships. The next article shows you how much they found. They found, right here it says it, 13 ships were found. 13 ships were found in our waters. 13 ships found. Oh. 13 ships found. One of them, they have proven facts, has over 500,000 pounds. Hope I'm saying it right. Of gold. And that's worth over $1 billion. That's just the gold. That's not the artifacts and everything else. That's the gold. Huh? That's what was found. And you notice, we haven't heard a word about that. It showed up in the papers, and someone must get spanked for even putting that there, and it just went quiet. Bahamas, I need y'all to wake up. While they're telling you that we are selling dreams, I am telling you that they are giving you a nightmare. And they're pretending that this country is broke and has no value. while there are people, if you read the articles on this, they will show you where the Bahamas is being raped and robbed right, left, and center. Let me see if I can read a little bit of this for you. An underwater exploration group says it has detected 13 super wrecks, one $1 billion find in Bahamas waters, with the government having quietly given a salvage, secretly, this is what they do to us, quietly given a salvage license to another operator. BSD Global Exploration, whose principals include former U.S. Ambassador to the Bahamas, Ned Siegel, says that elite technology was able to locate minerals and precious metals some 26,000 feet below ground of the ocean surface. And I want you to go and read this again for yourself, because I don't want to take too much time doing this live reading this. But this is scandalous, Bahamas. Israeli firm, finds $1 billion treasure wreck. There's other articles here. Another one we had up there. 1986, they found this $1.6 billion wreck, and they found many other wrecks right here in the Bahamas, and we got nothing. Bahamas looking into capitalize on $1 billion shipwrecking industry. This is when we decided to go into the industry in 2011. This was in foreign news, not ours. It's like they keep everything secret from us. Everything is kept secret from us. And that's the picture you're looking at now. They don't have they're not showing you the caption. Bahamas looking to capitalize on $1 billion shipwrecking industry. This is in foreign news, not in our news. You ever wonder why? And they tell you we are selling dreams, and they want you to not believe us, and they want you to not listen to us, and they want to block us in the media. I've been told that we've been blocked in the media, people in the media. You know what? When you listen to one McCartney show or one of those shows again, ask them to bring me on. See what they say. Any of those shows, tell them to bring me on and see what they say. Our country is being sold to the lowest bidder while you're all suffering and we broke. I need y'all to understand that we don't have to be in the states that we are in. We don't. We just had a wasted trip that was all a flim-flam. But they're trying to see, look, we signed some deals. You signed nothing. Because what you signed, we already have. And we could do for ourselves. It was all a flim-flam. You did nothing. You got nothing that other countries didn't get. And you didn't do any signing with other countries or other companies. Only Dubai, which shows that it was just a show. You went there for 1 day of events or 2 days of events. You had to stay there for 8 days on our buck. Come on. They say that there was good exposure for our performers. There wasn't any exposure for our performers. Do you think that, okay, some record label is going to be there, they will see Funky D jumping up and down and doing his fancy footwork, and they're going to, sign him to a deal? There's no exposure. You come, you perform, you go home. It's like watching someone perform at the Olympics opening. No one is going to say, okay, let's give that person who sang a record deal. Them people who dance and they dance well. There's little chance of an opportunity. You think they saw Shabak and they're going to say that, oh, let's give Shabak a record deal because they sang Did You See Uncle Lou? There's no real exposure to that. I've been in the music industry all my life. There's no exposure from that kind of situation, no real exposure. And you didn't have to take over 100 people there to get any investments. But I want us to change our mind and change our thinking, because whatever we could have benefited there, we need to think differently about it. It's time for us to start investing, not just being invested in. The Prime Minister talked about our model and how we do things. I think we have a clip from the Prime Minister. Let's say what the Prime Minister had to say after he came
And
out
the
of Dubai.
United Arab
Let's
Emirates
hear the
signed a
news clip.
memorandum of understanding in Dubai today. Prime Minister Philip Davis announced the first step towards economic and technical assistance from this Arab state.
To set the pathway for discussions on a number of economic issues and technical assistance. And that was done today. And there is much that we can gain and learn from what I've seen since I was here. The economy is such, being consumptive as it is, we need to find ways and means of growing the economy by being innovative, creative, and adaptive to the changing scenes of the world economic order. That is something that we have been lagging behind. In fact, I go as far as to say it has stalled.
The Prime Minister also meeting with some potential investors on his first official trip to the Middle East and revealing that Emirates Airlines has its sights on the Bahamas.
Who have serious interest in exploring how they can connect the Caribbean, Latin America, and do so to the Bahamas. And we intend to, hopefully before the Minister of Foreign Affairs leave, sign a memorandum of understanding to set the foundation on the way forward for those discussions.
Imagine new Rev TV packages with.
Listen, I don't hear much vision there. This is not to criticize the Prime Minister, but again, we're talking about being a nation of beggars. He's telling us what the problem is, that we are lagging behind, but we have no vision to stop us from lagging behind. The one thing that I want us to gain and learn from Dubai, as you said, is how they empower their people and how they make all of their people benefit. That's what they do. They make their people benefit. Let me tell you something brave. If you do this, no one will ever be able to vote you out. You'll be 600 and we'll have you on life support trying to keep you alive. If you make Bahamians benefit from their natural resources and do what the government of Dubai is doing, and all they had to do was make a decision. We're going to empower our people, and by empowering their people, there was much more wealthy people and all businesses able to do good in the society, and everyone did well together. Brave Davis, this is your opportunity. Now, you told me that you're old school, that you feel that you don't make everyone benefit, that you make a few people benefit, and then you provide jobs. That's not the Dubai way. Let's learn the new way. We're lagging behind because of mentalities like yours, people who grew up in the 50s. We're lagging behind because you're bringing the 50s, and we're almost back to the 50s again. We're in the 20s. We're almost to the 50s again. We're almost to the next 50s. And you are keeping us with that same mentality of jobs, the Bahamian dream, Bahamianization, allowing us to work in the banks, allowing us to have jobs and work. Come on, man. We're almost to the 50s again. Come on, Brave. You're in your 70s. Make this one happen for the Bahamian people. And we will love you for it. And I hope you enjoyed this dialogue and the education that we passed on today. There was so much more I wanted to touch on. But when we touch again, we're going to touch on the business of, I can't say the word because then they're going to block this video. The business of that thing right there. I'm going to show you all what really went when we go live again. Ladies and gentlemen, but we're not going to go live on Sundays. I think we're going to do Tuesdays from now on, but not this Tuesday. We're going to skip the next Tuesday at 8:30, every Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. and moving forward because we got to give our people who've been working hard a break. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to do what I always do. I'm going to open this up for questions because there's a lot of stuff that we covered today. You might have some questions. You might have some stuff you want us to cover. And so I'm gonna give you a chance to ask questions on those things. Please don't be shy. After you have the questions you want to ask, I see someone in there ask me about a court case. Listen, man, these political trolls, we gotta fight. We gotta fight for this. They don't care about this country. They have one agenda, and that's to make sure their massa, which is the politician, makes it. Their massa is in charge so they could get some crumbs. When they'll contract for $1,800, and they'll come on the internet running on with nonsense. We don't have time for that. We got to fight them aggressively. They got to know that Bahamians are ready for change. I want to open this up for questions for anybody who is here. If you agree, if you don't agree. Someone says, no vision never was. They are all petty. I expect more from PM Davis unless we as Bahamians don't come. Someone says, I want to know what are the plans for crime and, oh, they took it off, I can't see it. I want to know whether the plans for crime and corruption, illegal shanty towns, illegal immigrants, this country is dying socially. Remember, I told you that this country was going to be suffering from a serious crime wave. Keep the question up there so I could remember it. It's suffering from a serious, it's going to suffer from a serious crime wave right after the election, and that's what you're witnessing. Everything I say comes to pass. It's not prophecy, it's seeing what is going on. It's connecting the dots. It's seeing how the same corrupt system has us in a cycle. Now we swung back to the PLP, hoping to get something different, and we're seeing every day it's the same old thing. So what are we going to do? Swing back to Intag, Minis Rooney, puppet, who's now the crony and puppet of Brent Simonet, and you're going to get some change there? How? We need real change. And so you ask for the plans for crime, etc. We have our crime plan and everything right on our website. And you just go to our website. And I want to say this while we're doing that. Please remember to sign on to our website. You can now, if you're on the Family Islands and you want to become a member, you want to pay your membership because that's what's going to take to get this done. We have young ladies who are sacrificing their personal lives and volunteering to make sure that we could do this on a daily basis, helping people every day. So I just want to stop in the middle of answering your question to actually remind you to sign up. We can only do this. I see all the supporters out there. We can only do this if you want us to do this. If the minute you don't want us to do this, which means that you're not supporting and we can't get this done, that means we got to pack it up. And so we would love to continue, to do this and continue to do whatever. But you gotta support us. You gotta support us. You have to be our support. You have to make this happen. Producer, I need you to get the charger for the laptop, please. Ladies and gentlemen, only you can make this happen. We need you. We need you. And there's no way we're going to do this without you. I just wanted to show you our website quickly, if you can get that. Okay. It's gonna make a little bit difference. Okay. Okay, trying to get it up there on the screen. Oops. Ladies and gentlemen. All right, we're trying to get it on the screen behind us. We couldn't get that up. But you can go to our website, and the first thing you're going to see, and the producers will put the website up for you. I was going to put it up on the screen behind me. We couldn't get it up. The producers can put it up for you. Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, go to our website, and there you can pay your dues now electronically. If you want to pay and you want us to send you a link, we can send you the link to be able to sign with your credit and debit card, and you can do it from whatever island you're from now. We appreciate your support. We need your support. It is the only way that this is going to be able to continue, and we're going to get this done. We appreciate your support, and we thank you for your support. But ladies and gentlemen, this is a big war, and this is a big fight. So you can go to the website now. You can go to your mobile app and you can make your payments, or you can go to the website and get it done. We thank you so much for that support. The website has our vision. Just browse it. You can see our vision for tourism, our vision for education, all this kind of stuff. We can see it. Schools are supposed to open tomorrow. We wanted to touch on that, but we'll wait until it opens and see what happens. We need real solutions in this country, but we're not getting them. And so we're looking forward to being the organization that brings those solutions to you. Next question. Someone says, with America getting ready for war, do you think, let me see. Good question. Like I said, go to our website, go to the mobile app, pay your membership. It's just $5. You help to keep this going, all right? Someone says, Mr. Bain, with America getting ready for war, do you think that it can affect us as Bahamians? Affect us Bahamians? Yes. War always affects, because travel goes down. It causes a recession, except for the countries in the war, because that's how they make money through their personal companies that make money from it. And so war, every time there's a war, it affects us, because people start to stop traveling. With the particular war they're talking about, there could be some serious consequences, America and England versus Russia. But because all of these nations have atomic bombs, I strongly doubt that they're going to go to war. All right. The atomic bomb is the neutralizer that stops these guys from fighting each other. All right. It stops them from really going to war with each other, because any of them could go to the fullest extent. So it has kept us from going to war all this time. And so I believe that is going to continue. All right. There's going to be a lot of standoffs, but they won't go to the final, I don't think. All right. But if they do, it will affect us. All right. So you're going to see them taking a strong stance. You saw there was a situation with Israel and Iran the other day, and Iran, got attacked. One of their leaders was attacked and killed at the airport. And Iran said, we're gonna respond. We're gonna have a strong response. They sent a couple of missiles over. They called first and said, hey, we sending these missiles, eh? And they sent it. The base is already evacuated, and they just responded to say that they responded, just to show that they weren't beat. But they didn't want to go to real war at a time like this. And so we think that that's going to be the stance. All right. So I'll take another question.
Eldridge Gardner is asking, why is it difficult for Bahamians to get involved in the cryptocurrency industry?
Why is it difficult for Bahamians to get involved in the cryptocurrency industry? Listen, any industry that can actually empower Bahamians is going to be shut down. And that's because of the corrupt government that we have. Governments, I don't mean Brave Dave's administration. They have a system in place to keep Bahamians broke and poor so that you need them during election. And you keep hearing this and you keep ignoring it. But as simple as that. Anything that can make Bahamians wealthy. They had laws in place for years which stopped you from being able to invest outside of the country, which is what all first world countries do. They try to encourage their companies to invest outside. Okay? They encourage their companies to expand. But us, they put a law in place to stop you. They also had laws in place to stop you from freely getting financing for your projects from outside of the country. Why? So they control you. This is what they do. They don't want you to be free because they want to keep Bahamians under control. That's why we are the most docile, the most, placid people that there are in the world. All right? Because they keep us crushed. The taxi drivers were responsible for riots, etc., and protests back in the day. And so what they did was they started to try to control that. We're going to control who gets these taxi plates. Only people who support us. Let's give it some passes to help them, so that they could help us get elected. But the taxi drivers were the only entrepreneurs back in the day. So they didn't have to worry about a job or getting fired. They were free. They were entrepreneurs. So that's why they put a lock on these plates that they still have today. When the free market should determine who gets plates. All right. The musicians were also free entrepreneurs back in the day, and they really cramped the entrepreneurs. Sorry, the musicians. The UBP used to take them and travel and promote the Bahamas, and there were things to do when people came to the Bahamas. But it seemed like when the black government came in power, they kind of crush them, and they didn't encourage them, they didn't promote them. And they did that because these were free entrepreneurs and they wanted to keep a level of control over the people. So anything that can empower you, listen, I bought crypto when it was at 3,000. Well, I had crypto, I didn't just buy it. And the crypto went up to 60,000. It's back down a little bit now. But anyone who had any reasonable amount of money would have done well off that. You had $1,000 in crypto, that would have gone up tremendously. All right. You had $10,000 in crypto, it would have gone up tremendously. But they can't allow you to benefit. And that's why governments were even crushing the numbers business, the numbers boys, the same ones that are paying for their elections, because that's why they do it. They don't want regular people. See, those with money determine who wins the election. They didn't want the numbers boys there. That's why when the F&M came in, they started to put, pressure on them and started to do certain things to crush them, because they didn't want them to have that power. You understand? And so for Bahamians, I'll give you another example. Talk loud so I can hear you. All right, so they were talking about they was saying something to me about making it illegal for Bahamians to trade cryptocurrencies last year. That is not true. That is not a fact. It is not illegal for Bahamians to trade cryptocurrencies. You can do it, but they make it so that through the banking system, it's difficult for you. They make it so that it's hard for you to get your money out of it. All right, and that's what they do. Whereas in America, in Florida, you can go into business and you can accept credit cards like that. They don't want you doing that, because if you could go into online business like Sebastian did, you can defeat the food store. We need someone to do a grocery delivery app. We need people like Instagram. We need people to do different things. We need our own Netflix. This is the only way that blacks can catch up. When you see opportunities like that, jump on it, promote it, okay? And that's what we need to do. But for example, they are bringing this thing out, for housing. For one, I heard them talking about this rent to lease to own foolishness that the government will be doing for housing. It is absolute garbage and nonsense. Lease to own? The F&M took it, the PLP had a corrupt housing situation where persons was getting paid off, et cetera, and they were making corrupt money, $5,000 a house getting paid to certain people. You ought to vote them back in, so I guess you must like it. But they went from that corruption to the F&M, flamming and saying we give you the property but not the house. Now they're back to saying a lease to own situation, which is absolutely nonsense, because by the time as your lease is to the point where you have to pay to own the house, because it gets to where you're paying the lease and a certain portion of it goes towards ownership of the house. But then at a certain point, you got to pay for the house, or pay your down payment for the house. If you don't have it, you lose. All right? And that's how lease to owns typically work. You can't do that, Bahamian people, man. What is that? It's like more political tricks. Okay? So they're also talking about, doing mortgages to build houses again. We got to watch this government, because again, yeah, we like you, but you got some people there who used to the corruption in the system. And if you don't have stuff in place, you're busy traveling. You've been out of the country more than any prime minister in their first 4 months. And so you can't watch what's going on. So the same, if you bring that same system that you had before, it's going to be more corruption. Now, this is what a government in Dubai, I think, would have done, and this is what the COI will do, and the New Bahamas will do. In the government of Dubai, when you get married, they give you $20,000 for getting married, and they give you your acre of land. All right? They give you your land, and they give you money to help with your down payment to start doing what you want to do. You have so much perks. You're already rich. You could build your house. But they give you land when you get married. So you get married at 18, 20, 21, whatever. Here's your money to get you started. Here's your land. With our land, with our housing program, the Crown land is free. We own it. It is ours. It does not belong to the government. Stop celebrating them when they give you what is ours and make you pay for it. All right? The Crown land is free. Why don't we take the Crown land in Carmichael Road, like the minister was trying to do, give it to the Bahamian and let them pay to the mortgage corporation for the house, building the house, and pay for it at cost. Why not? If the house costs $30,000 to build, $40,000 to build, which those houses can be built for $30,000, $35,000, so that contractors get jobs. All right? Whatever the cost, the raw cost is to build that house, you give that to Bahamians for that. And you empowered them. Now you gave them some. Why do they have to pay for $180,000, $150,000, $200,000? All right? You just empowered them because they actually spend $30,000, $40,000 on something that immediately is valued $180,000, $200,000. You just empowered every Bahamian just like that. The land is free. You have the contractor. Okay? Give the contractors a job. Build the house, build it property. I'm not saying give the Bahamian the house for free if you don't want to. Of course, with our natural resources, we can. But if you give it to them at cost. You give them different plans. You say, listen, this plan, this is going to cost, the raw cost to the contractor is $30,000, $40,000, $50,000. These are the different models. If you want that, that is what you get. We are being swung. The government should not be trying to make profit off of what we own. How can the government be trying to make profit of what we own? You are selling our land back to us. We own this. Come on, man. Think. And now they want us to celebrate, oh, this week, I think Wednesday or Tuesday, oh, we're going to have a mortgage fair to get you in more debt and keep you broke. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to wake up. We need to empower our people and empower Bahamians. It's time for something different. So I hope all of you are able to wake up and make a difference when it comes to this. All right. So I hope I answered that question for you. I hope I answered that question for you. They say my display behind me is gone. I'm so sorry about that. Yeah, we had it in one way so long. We'll fix it up for you in a second. All right. Next question. Someone else give me a question. Just give me that. You can get questions. Because we're going to be gone now. Yes, you can pay wherever you are in the world. So someone is asking if they can pay us via credit card. You can pay us from anywhere in the world. So if you're in the US, you can now pay your membership. I don't care if you're in Dubai, you're in the US, you're in Australia, etc. You can just, with that system, you'll see when you go on it, you can just pay with credit cards. So it doesn't matter where you are. You'll be able to pay. All right. So next question.
Perlene J. Smith is asking if people can register now to vote.
Yes, you can go to the registry and you can start your registration process. Let's not get left out this time. Please, for God's sake, many of our supporters were not able to vote. Many of our supporters were not able to vote. I want you to understand that. Many of our supporters were unable to vote because they called a snap election. Many people had moved and couldn't vote in the new area that they are in. And so it caused a major problem. All right. So next question. Next question.
Mikey is asking, why is it so hard for Bahamians to get Crown land?
It's hard for Bahamians to get Crown land because that would be another thing that empowers you, that makes you free, that makes you able to not have to depend on a politician. And so they cannot give you stuff like land and empower you because they want you to be able to come to them, to beg them when election comes around. It's really that simple. They want you to come to them groveling and begging. If you don't depend on them, then you won't need them. And so they can empower all Bahamians right now. We have millions of acres of crown land, millions. They could give every single Bahamian man, woman, and child crown land, or just every adult, about 200,000 of us crown land, and that wouldn't even be 1% of the crown land that we have. It wouldn't even touch the inventory. They could give us beachfront property that we could develop. We could be like Dubai. But guess what? They say we are selling dreams. How is it a dream that we could give every Bahamian an acre of crown land? It is not. The Brave will not do it. Pintard will not do it. Minister will not do it. None of these people would do it. And there's only one reason. They need to keep you dependent on them. Next question.
While we're on the topic of crown land, Anointed One Bria was asking, so you mean the crown land is where they were going to build the homes that they were offering?
Yeah, well, the government has to own the land that they're going to build on, all right? And so whether it was crown land or a land bought some time ago by the government, yes, they're taking our crown land, building homes, and mortgaging it to you. And so what you're going to do is you're going to pay probably $150,000, $180,000 for that home, but by the time you finish paying that, you would have paid more than double, probably 2.5 or maybe 3 times what that home was worth because you're paying a mortgage for it. All right? And this is how we are crushed every election. So the cronies, the political party gets to make money from the corruption of it, and you get to pay over and over. And you're just happy because you have a house and you're not paying rent anymore. And so you suffer in the long run, right? So next question.
Jillian Bartlett said Ms. Colby Davis is saying that, or said that they are building homes in 4 different islands for the New Year's. Is this the old way? How do you qualify?
Yes, again, this is the old way. All right. This is what I propose, and this is what the COI is proposing. We propose that you can build on crown land on 16 different islands, wherever it is. Build it and allow Bahamian contractors to build them and give it to the Bahamian people at cost. That's it. Not the cost for the land, the cost to build. That's it. Give it to the Bahamian people at cost. And then let's go from there, right? That's the new way. Next question.
While I'm waiting on persons to ask more questions, I saw earlier someone was asking, what is the way forward for the Coalition of Independence?
Someone asked the way forward for Coalition of Independence. The way forward for the Coalition of Independence is, as we've explained, the election is over now, and we have decided to form into a party. So what we were before was just independent candidates who were working together. That is dissolved. That is finished. That is done with. And so those who are moving forward are moving forward with a formal party structure so that we can have a good organization and structure. We've already begun to open up branches in different constituencies. So we started 2 weeks ago in Southern Shores. We want to congratulate all of them there. We put the chairman, treasurer, assistant treasurer, council rep, all of different positions have been filled. And so those persons there have organized themselves. They'll be having their monthly meetings. They'll be having their structure so that people can get involved and we can know what's going on there, and they can fight for people in Southern Shores and for causes in Southern Shores. Last week, we had Wednesday, because we do this every Wednesday. We'll be doing this every Wednesday for the long term. Last week Wednesday we were in Angliston, and so in Angliston we had a full house, and we put persons in place, chairman, etc. On Saturday we met them again, and we had a full house meeting with those persons in Angliston. People want change, and so we're forming the formal party structure. You see, every election, the FNMPLP might have about 8 people who ran last time that runs again, and you know, so it doesn't matter who runs, but what matters is the party structure, and that's what we're forming. We think that that is important, and again, we'll need your help and we need your support on this. And the good part about what the good part about what we're doing is that, sorry, they sent me a message and told me to show you how to sign up. All right. And so behind me on the screen is the sign up process for those who want to move on and those who want to help with what we're doing. All right. And so this is our website. You can go here. You can see this is our plan for good governance. There's a lot of things here. You can see everything that is going on with us. But here, you can just come here and you can simply, to become a member, you can click here. To pay your dues, you click here. To donate, you click here. All right. You need your donations, of course. Dues are $5. That can only go so far. But we need your donation and to become a member. You just come here and you click on become a member. And yeah, click on become a member. And you can click on become a member and it'll show you all the instructions on where to go and where you click to start and what you need to do. All right. And it's going to direct you to our mobile app. And as it directs you to the mobile app, that's the app. It's going to let you see how to do it. You just go in the app, click on it. Let me show you how the app works. You got the fast internet now here, so it should be working. But anyway, you just go here. I think that's my computer. Yeah, so you just go here, and this is where you sign up. All right, so we're looking forward to there we go. To doing this. All right, and so you can also make payment. All you have to do is click on right here where it says pay dues. You can go there and you can just go here to pay your. All right, and it's going to take you there, and you just come, put it in, you do what you have to do. For those of you who are already members, you can simply go to the app. You can simply go to the app, and you can pay your dues right on the app, and that's how you can get this done. All right. So you hope that was scripted enough for you, but this is where you go, and this is how you get it done. All right. So that's how it's done. So the way forward for the Coalition of Independence is to continue doing what we've been doing, and to make sure that Behemoth knows what's going on. So you can go to this website, and you can see all of the different areas where you can see. I want you to pay attention to Vision 2025. Yeah, become a member. The vision. So this is our vision. When you go here, this is going to show you exactly where you can go to see all of our vision. So you can see our vision, education, tourism, and these other areas. So everything is right there. So we advise you to go here and check this out. And so, like I said, we're not going anywhere. We're going to continue doing this. Vision 2025 is also here. So you just go to Vision 2025, and you can see the actual vision for the New Bahamas. You can see what it is we're going to do in this New Bahamas and how we're going to bring the change in this New Bahamas. Right? So still the vision. Gotta get to. I know many of you have been doing this. You've been clicking on a lot of these, and so, right. So I'll leave that there. But go and explore our website. There's a lot there, and also BahamianEvolution.com. There's a lot on BahamianEvolution.com that you can take advantage of. I'd advise you to take advantage of BahamianEvolution.com. Because it has all of our documentaries and everything that we did from the beginning. Some people are saying they didn't watch the documentaries, they don't know how to get to it. Well, just go to BahamianEvolution.com, and you'll be able to see all of the documentaries that we've had from the beginning. And if we could just show them that quickly, for those who are still on here, I'll just show you that quickly. So BahamianEvolution.com is still there. It's still operational. All of our documentaries are there. Waiting for it to come up. And so this is BahamianEvolution.com. And so All of the information is here. This 2025 is here. The documentaries are here. We love the documentaries, portion of it. So literally all you gotta do is click on documentary and you can see all of our documents. Right? So the last documentary is first because of how it was voted. And so this is the grand finale. So if you really want to watch the documentary, go to the first one. This is the one on oil. All right. Okay. We have the changes. They were saying that something YouTube has blocked it because of some content on there. Changed the one on oil. But this is the one on landscape, the land pirates. All of them are right there. All of the documentaries are there. So go and take advantage of them and watch all of this, right? So this is the first one. Bahamastan, we're born and go. This is where we expose what's happening with our aragonite and we showed what's going on. All right. So thank you. I'll answer a couple more questions and then we got to go. We're almost at our 2-hour mark, almost there. So we got a couple more questions we can answer. Give me another question, please.
Theola Edgecombe is asking, so now that the old structure is gone, what will we call the new political party?
Yeah, so we decided, we met and we decided to continue with the name, the Coalition of Independence, because it is what people know. We don't want to confuse people. So we're going to continue with that name, the Coalition of Independence. We're going to have a convention. First, what we're doing is forming all of our branches. Those persons would become the delegates at the convention, and then we're going to go to convention and vote for leader and everything else that we need to have. All right. So that's going to take a few months to get to that, but that's what we're structuring now. So if you are in a certain constituency and you want to be a part of what we're doing, please let us know by paying your membership. Do what you have to do. We'll get in contact with you. We're contacting every single person. And you can be a part of this amazing movement. We're more than a political party. We are a movement. We are more than a political party. We are a movement, an activist movement that is here to change this nation and save this country. All right? So just be a part of it. Any other questions?
Yes. Speaking of the membership dues, you mentioned earlier that it was $5, but there was someone asking how often is it paid?
$5 per month. So it's just $5 per month. You can pay as much as you want. You will get an e-card with your membership. You'll get an e-card with your membership. So that membership will show you how paid up you are. Let me see if I could. Show you how the membership cards work. I hope that's one of them. No, that's not it. You know, I don't know how to access them. I don't know if they have my membership card up. No, I don't remember how to access them. All right, yeah, but you'll get a e-card, and that e-card will actually show how much you paid for. So if it's 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, or whatever, it'll show how much you paid for, and it'll show you when it expired. You can pay for a year, which is $60, or you could pay for the 1 month or 2 months. Some people pay 4 months. You can pay what you want. We had someone came and paid for 5 years. All right, so they're serious about this. They want to see this move forward, and so you can come. You can go there and make a donation, or you can just you can pay for a year, 2 months, whatever you want to do. All right, so that's how it works. All right. Next question.
It seems that we don't have any further questions for tonight.
Okay, perfect. So if that's it, I know we just have comments there now. If that's it, we want to thank all of you for tuning in. So we're gonna switch for now, and we'll see if you like Tuesdays. I mean, we're on there now live. Tell us what you prefer. Do you prefer Tuesdays or Thursdays? That's your choice. Tell us. because we can do any one of them. I know our supporters are still on here. Tell us, I'll put this up on the screen so I could actually see you up. But tell us what you prefer. Do you prefer Tuesdays? Do you prefer Thursdays? What day do you prefer? Let us know, because we got to take Sunday off so that we could, dedicate, and be refreshed, right? And have time to do stuff. I heard people, teasing Maria about, her hair. They don't know she have to work 7 days a week. While we're here right now, she's working, getting it in. I saw someone teasing me, but I don't have a day to do anything of my own, anything. Everyone is saying Tuesday, Tuesday, Tuesday. All right? Tuesday. Someone says Thursday. I see one Thursday, 2 Thursdays, 2 Thursdays. All right? Someone says both. Theo Jones, I can't do both. Thursday, Thursday. All right? Tuesdays is good. All right. We got so much Tuesdays that we're going to do that. We're going to continue to educate you. We're going to continue to make this it. I think the Tuesdays win, Cara. That's the Tuesdays win, right?
Yes, sir.
Tuesdays win?
Yes, sir.
Okay, seems like the Tuesdays win. All right, so we're definitely going to do it on Tuesdays. So every Tuesday, we're going to skip this Tuesday. But every Tuesday, we're going to let you know what's been going on with the week, what's the tricks of the politicians, what's really happening, what's really going on behind the scenes. If there's stuff you need to learn or don't understand, we're going to teach you that. This is our medium for getting stuff out. Now, some people say it got to be shorter because some people are not going to sit down for 2 hours. This is the classroom. This is where we teach you what is going on. This is where you come to learn what's happening in the country and what we can do and what we're doing. It's your job as a supporter to go there and cut these into shorter clips and get it out there. We have a PR team also that does it as much as they can. You got to cut these into shorter clips and get it out there to payment people. But the media has decided that they don't want the new Bahamas. And so they're fighting this, okay? They're fighting this. If you've seen, they're fighting this. There's going to be more battles coming our way, because they're afraid. The F&M is this, they have no authority to say anything about anything. I'm embarrassed whenever I hear Michael Pintard or Lewis or one of these other people talking. They need to sit down and shut up. We don't want to hear from any of them. They destroyed this country over the last 5 years. We don't want to hear anything from them. They have no moral compass. They have no moral obligation or even authenticity to be able to say anything in this nation. Pintard was a crony of Dr. Minnis, and he was a part of what he was doing, and he stood up and said nothing. All right? He stood up and said nothing while it was going on. We don't want to hear anything from any member of parliament from the F&M. None. Dwayne Sands, go sit down. You are my friend. Go sit down. You have embarrassed this nation. Pintard, go and sit down. You have embarrassed this nation. What you have put us under for those 5 years, those unnecessary, stupid lockdowns. I'm not saying lockdowns at some point wasn't profitable, but lockdowns with no notice, they were cruel. They were cruel, and we had to fight them, and thank God that we did. There was no vision. Nothing happened in this country, only excuses to take all of the hurricane supplies and not give it to the people. That was cruel, Pintard. Yes, and we know you was giving out, a couple of little stuff in your community because you have the oligarchs funding you because they want you to be the next puppet. So we know you was able to give out stuff in Grand Bahama because they was fronting you. But it was cruel what happened. Now we're seeing all of the corruption exposed. You all knew about the corruption because I knew about the corruption and Brave knew about the corruption. There was 10 MPs that Brave had evidence on. He ain't talked about all 10 of y'all yet. And I had evidence on those same 10 in the F&M. I don't want to hear anything from the F&M. You do not qualify to be the opposition or in any position in this country. You've all failed. So the F&M is out of the way for the system, for them, for the PLP. The other third parties have basically dismantled. Orinthia has gone away. The The other third parties have disappeared, they've gone quiet. And so the only threat to them is the COI. The only threat to them doing what they want, how they want, when they want, is the COI. And this is what they're afraid of. And so you're going to see the attacks. You're going to see them use every kind of system, the police system, the legal system, every system in this world to attack us. Open your eyes and see the truth. Open your eyes. And so you could continue with this, continue this back and forth, or we could fight for our children. If you want to fight for our children, let's do this. That's what I'm about. I had one former candidate who ran with us last time, says he wants to be leader. He went to the point of even threatening me, but he wants to be leader. There are people who want to lead this country for whatever reason. I do not have an ambition to be prime minister. I have an ambition to see every Bahamian in this country prosper, to see every Bahamian first, so that Bahamians can be proud when we go to another nation. We're not copycats. When I grew up, it used to irk me when I heard Bahamians, the minute the plane landed in Miami, they used to call it yanking, talking like the Yankees, because we have no identity and self-pride. I'm not saying that you have to speak Bahamian vernacular in a way that people can't understand you, but you're Bahamian, man. You don't have to take on the accent, and you can speak properly, like I am now, and still sound like a Bahamian. But we have no identity. What is Bahamian? What does it mean to be a Bahamian? And I saw some of our people going to Dubai, and all of a sudden they dress up like them. You can never see them people in Dubai come here and dress like us, because we have no identity. There's nothing wrong with playing role play, but come on, man, it's something seriously. There's no pride to being a Bahamian under these governments. I'm a proud Bahamian. I'm a being on every side. I'm not bragging about being one of them or from any other nation. I am a proud Bahamian, is all I know. I am Lincoln Bean, the son of Henry Bean, the son of Samuel Bean, the son of William Bean. I'm a 10th generation Bahamian. My navel string is buried in Angliston. And I grew up in Pinewood Gardens. I am a Bahamian. I am an Auckland's Crooked Island Bean. I am a Hasty Tynes. I am a Cat Island Poitier. I'm a Roll from Exuma. Bo from Exuma. I am a Bahamian. Let's be proud to be Bahamian, man. Let's take this country and let's make this a better country for us and for all of our neighbors. Dubai is making a better country for them, and they're spreading their wings. And all I want is a better country for us. And some people won't trust us because they think, he just wants to be prime minister. They think, oh, listen to all the stuff that people are saying. People are going to say stuff. They say stuff with Ray, about ministers. They said stuff with Jesus. They said stuff with Martin Luther King. They said stuff with Moses. Listen, I have one ambition. And let me tell you something. If these politicians do this, we'd be happy with them. I could retire. I could go mind my own business. Just let us benefit from our natural resources and do what Dubai doing, so that other nations will be coming here and saying, boy, we need to get Bahamians to come to our country and invest. Look, we just signed an MOU with Bahamas, and they're going to come here, they're going to invest, they're going to give us jobs. When are we going to get there? We're not going to get there with the PLP and FNM. That's not how they're structured. We need something new. And that's what this mission is about. So come in, pay your membership dues, and remember that we always have our financial accountant. Our financial accountant is impeccable. We're the only organization, political or otherwise, that actually shows their full financial reports, to the people. Our full financial reports is there for all of our members to see. All of our members to see. It's right there for our members. There it is. We don't have anything to hide. Every dollar that comes in, every dollar that comes in, every cent is accounted for. We are the first organization. Been doing this 3 months now, and 3 months, Word of Accounting is right there on the screen behind me. If you have questions or anything about it, you can go right at the bottom and you can have your questions or comments about it. Every dollar we account for. Why? Because this is how we want to run the nation. Full transparency. If we make 1 cent, we can let you know we made 1 cent. And we spent that 1 cent on this or that. It's all there. October, November, December, January. Ladies and gentlemen, we need change in this country and we need something different. That's you. Come fight this fight with us. So we thank you for spending your Sunday evening with us. Moving forward, we're going to try Tuesday night is always going to be at 8:30, always at 8:30. If you have questions, you can reach out to us at any time. We're always at the headquarters. I'm in Pinewood every day. I saw a Facebook post where someone said that 85% of the main road in Pinewood was finished. That is a lie from the pits of hell. And so now the PLP is back to these old tricks. One, trying to get credit for fixing a road. You don't get credit for paving roads. That's your job. I mean, and they went to the point of saying, oh, this MP should have 2 terms. You don't get credit for paving roads. And 2, you definitely don't get credit for lying about it. The road on Pinewood, and I did a video, and I decided not to put it out. The road, the main road in Pinewood that starts from Good News Baptist Church to the roundabout, that is in horrible, that is in a horrible condition. That is in terrible condition. You drive it yourself. It is horrible. I did a video to show you. But for them to brag while that road is in that state is dishonorable. Now, they did some paving on the road that is South Beach, from the church heading back towards the police station. They did some paving on that road. That ain't Pinewood, that's South Beach. All right? But Pinewood Road is still in that bad condition. And let me tell you what I let you all brag about. Fix this flooding problem, because we already released the plan for it. It's right on our website. Fix the flooding problem, and then we could talk. Then we could let you brag with something, because no one has done it up to this time. Fix the flooding problem, and then you could do some bragging. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for tuning in. I hope I took all of your questions. I hope no more questions is there that I didn't get to see, or that we didn't get to see. You know, we always have your questions. We've been working hard. We got to take some weekends off. We'll switch to lives the Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. Make sure you tune in. Make sure your family and friends are there. We are going to show you what's really going on in the country and what's happening. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your financial support. Go to our website now and help us keep this going. It takes a lot of investment to keep this going. We need your help. Thank you. God bless you. And remember, change ain't coming. Change is here. See you next time.